Cafco spray film WB2 and WB3 are water-based intumescent coatings for the fire protection of interior structural steel. In a fire, spray film will intumesce or expand up to 25 times. The result is a dense char that will insulate and protect structural steel for up to 3 hours. Spray film must be stored in a dry environment with temperatures between 50 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Material must be kept from freezing. To control application and humidity, adequate ventilation must be provided. Apply spray film between 50 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Do not apply spray film if condensation is present. Relative humidity must not exceed 75%. High humidity levels will increase drying times, reduce maximum wet film thickness per coat, and may cause blistering. Protect skin, eyes, and respiratory tract from irritation by airborne product by wearing a Tyvek painter's suit, rubber gloves, eye protection, and a dust mask. Refer to the material safety data sheet for complete information. Use a pneumatic, electric, or gas-powered airless spray pump operating with a minimum fluid pressure of 3,000 psi. Remove all filters and clean lines before use. A Graco 510 mastic gun or equivalent with diffuser tip removed, capable of handling a minimum of 3,000 psi fluid pressure. Tip size minimum for WB2 is 219 and for WB3 is 225. Note, for speed and for finish, spraying is the preferred method of application. All structural steel to be coated with spray film must first be primed with an approved primer. Primed surface must be free from any grease, oil, dirt, loose mill scale, rust, or any other contaminant that would inhibit the bonding of spray film to the primer. The thickness of the primer must be recorded before the application of spray film to assure compliance with the appropriate fire-resistive design. Spray film is supplied ready for use and must not be diluted. The spray film shall be thoroughly stirred with a standard shielded drywall mixing paddle for 3 to 5 minutes prior to use. Spray gun distance from the substrate must be a minimum of 18 inches. Maximum wet film thickness of spray film WB2 per coat is 40 mils, and maximum wet film thickness of spray film WB3 per coat is 66 mils. Note, application thicknesses are dependent upon air and steel temperature, relative humidity, and airflow. For airless spraying, 2 thinner coats, as opposed to 1 heavy coat, allows the applicator greater control over thickness and texture of the spray film, as well as reducing drying time. A minimum drying time of 8 hours is required. Applying additional coats in less than 8 hours may cause blistering. Drying times are dependent upon substrate and/or air temperature, air movement, and relative humidity. During the application, measure the wet film thickness frequently with a wet film thickness gauge to ensure the correct thickness is being applied. To use the wet film gauge, insert the teeth into the wet spray film. The highest reading indicated on the moistened teeth is the wet film thickness achieved on the most recent coat. Dry film thickness readings should be taken a minimum of 3 to 5 days after the last coat has been applied and before any top coating. Use an electronic thickness gauge for final measurement. Top coating is not UL/ULC required for general interior use. A minimum of 3 to 5 days should be allowed prior to top coating spray film. Isolatek International recommends that for general interior use, an acrylic latex top coat may be applied to a minimum dry film thickness of 1.6 mils. Damaged areas should be abraded back to a sound surface. The surface should then be cleaned and dried before reapplying. If necessary, touch up the primer and allow to cure. Apply spray film to the required wet film thickness and allow to cure. Cafco spray film thin film intumescent systems give architects the ability to design using steel that can be decorative and aesthetically pleasing. The spray film coating can be color matched to the surroundings and allows steel to be left exposed to view while providing the required fire-resistive rating. Structural steel no longer needs to be hidden behind ceiling and gypsum board. For more information, please contact Isolatek International at 800-631-9600 or check out our website at www.cafco.com. This video is designed as a teaching aid only and is not intended to take the place of strict adherence and review of the Cafco spray film application.